Okay, so we're doing 3.5 right now. So we are going to look at slope. This is very familiar to you, or should be, because you did slope all in Algebra 1. And we've done it quite a bit here as well. And for some reason, this is not giving me what I want. Okay, so here we go. So first of all, we have slope. So slope is rise over run. All right, so rise over run. So you have to be able to go up and then go over. So this is how you find slope. So the very first thing, I'm going to type this because it will be easier for you to read. So the very first thing is called rate of change. So your rate of change is the first thing. And then the next thing here, this is the steepness of a line. So the steepness of a line. And then the last thing here, I'm going to have to write this one out. This is going to be what we call delta y over delta x. And this is your rise, your change in the y's, over your run, which is your change in the x's. This is where the formula comes from. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So up here, this is a positive slope when it's pointing to the right. Then you've got your negative slope. See if you can see this line if I draw it. So this is a negative slope if it's flat. So if you have a flat slope, flat ground has a slope of 0. And then I always think about like skyscrapers. Skyscrapers are straight up and down. They have an undefined slope. So those are your main points, okay? All right, so what I want you to think of is hoy. Hoy, as in horizontal. So hoy is horizontal. Horizontal. The O, this is for 0 slope. So this is for 0 slope. And the Y is Y equals some number. So the equation of the line is going to be Y equals some number. H is for the horizontal, O is for 0 slope, and Y is for Y equals some number. Same thing over here with the V. V is for vertical. The U is for an undefined slope. Oops. Oh, goodness gracious. Get this together. S-L-O-P-E. And then X is for the equation of the line, which is X equals some number. Okay, so what that's going to look like is if you have a graph. So now if I were to draw an XY axis, so here's the X, and that color does not show up like I thought it was going to. So here is the X and Y axis, so X and Y. So if I were to draw a vertical line through here, okay, the vertical line has an undefined slope, and the equation of this line, so let's say this number is number 4, okay, so this is a -4, then the equation of this line is X equals -4 because it is touching the X-axis only. So now if I were to draw a horizontal line, okay, first of all, it has a slope of 0 because it's flat, and it's only touching the Y-axis. So let's say that this is 3. Then this would be Y equals 3. So that's how it looks. All right, so let's do some practice. So this slope, this line right here is vertical. So vertical is vux, so that means it is undefined. This slope right here is pointing to the right, so this slope is positive. And we're going to find them here in a second, but for right now, we're just going to focus on whether it's positive or negative. This one here is pointing to our left, so this is a negative slope. And this line right here is flat, therefore the slope is 0. All right, so now what we are going to do is we're going to take and find slope. So let's actually take these and find some slope. All right. I know a lot of you did this in Desmos. We are not doing Desmos. You have to know how to do math. Okay. All right. So if we have a table, all you have to do is pick 2 points. All right. So I'm going to pick this one and this one. It doesn't matter. So the formula says to take your y values. So your y values, -2 minus -2. Because remember, there's your equation, y minus y. So y minus y. And then I'm going to go 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1. Well, 2 negatives make a positive. -2 plus 2 is 0. And 2 minus 1 is 1. Therefore, 0 divided by 1 is 0. So this is going to be a horizontal line. Same thing here. You get into the habit of labeling. So this is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. So the formula is to subtract your y values. So 3 minus 11, y minus y. -1 minus -3. 2 negatives make a positive there. 8. So 3 minus 11 is -8. -1 plus 3 is 2. -8 divided by 2 is -4. So this is going to be a line pointing that direction. It's a negative slope. Here you're going to have to change and make this say y equals mx plus b. So you're going to need it to be in this form. So I'm going to take this x value right here and I'm going to move it over here. So that's going to give me -2y equals -10 minus 3x. Then I'm going to take and divide everything by -2. Y equals -10 divided by -2 is 5. A negative over a negative is positive, so this is 3 over 2x. So my slope, your slope will always be the number that's in front of x. So my slope is 3 over 2. 3 over 2. And it's a positive slope, so it's going to point in that direction. All right. So you're going to try. So it says to sketch a graph of a line that has a slope equal to 0. So I'm going to give you a second. So all you want to do is draw a line that has a slope of 0. So remember, it has to be flat. And you can choose any number you want. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go through here. I'm going to draw a flat line that goes through here. This has an equation of y equals 3. Okay, y equals 3 is my equation. You could have chosen any line. All right, parallel lines. So what do we know about parallel lines? Parallel lines have the same slope. So they have the same slope. So if I want to write an equation of a line that has the same slope as 3x plus 2, all right, so write an equation of a line that has the same slope. So first of all, what you're going to want to do is find the slope of this line. So the slope of this line is 3. Therefore, the parallel slope is also 3. Okay. So if I want to write an equation of a line that has the same slope as this, then it's going to be y equals 3x. And you can choose any y-intercept that you want. It doesn't matter as long as the slope is the same. Okay, perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposite reciprocals. Okay, opposite reciprocals, and what that looks like is they get flipped. Okay, so opposite means to change the sign. So opposite means to change the sign. And reciprocal means to flip the fraction. So if you've got, let's say our slope is b over a, then your perpendicular slope is going to be, change the sign, since this is positive, this one will be negative, and then flip the fraction, so a over b. So that's what it would look like with any number, okay? So find the perpendicular slope for each. So if I've got -3, that's really -3/1. So change the sign. If it's negative, this one's positive, and then flip it. 1/3. 1/2 is going to become -2/1, or just -2. -4/5 will become +5/4. So all you have to do is flip and change the sign. Super duper easy. All right, last. It says to circle the correct underlined word for each statement. So horizontal lines. So horizontal lines run this way. Are they parallel or perpendicular to the x-axis? So if you think about your x and y axis, the x-axis is also horizontal, so that would make them parallel. Okay, now vertical lines run straight up and down. Are they parallel to the x or the y-axis? Well, the y-axis runs straight up and down, so that means the vertical is going to be the y-axis. So vertical lines are parallel to the y-axis. Horizontal lines are parallel to the x-axis, meaning the x and the y are perpendicular to each other. All right, so that's it, and I will see you guys next time. Make sure you star anything you have questions on. Talk to you later. Bye.